Hey everybody, it is NTMan1 here, giving you a narrated Wi-Fi battle versus this guy named Ofofofo. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I just say Ofo. So yeah, guys, this was an NU battle for Sophie and Rick's NU tournament. And yeah, let's just get into the match. First I lead off with my pincer. I switch out because stuff. I go out to my Scraggy, he goes to the rock slide. Doesn't do anything, then I go for the bulk up, and then he sets up the stealth rocks. And then he switches out into Simi-Poor. Simi-Poor. No, it's not Simi-Sage. Wow, I know the other two, but I don't know this one. So he goes for Flamethrower, does a decent chunk. I go for the Drain Punch, and it doesn't kill. Someone needs to run calcs on that. This thing may have like 6 EVs in defense or HP, but come on, +2 stabbed, Drain Punch. How are you gonna live that? So now I'm at a smidgen of HP right now after he goes with Focus Blast. He goes into his Persian, and I go out into my HokeyPokey, one of the MVPs of this match. Yeah, you got that right, Slowpoke did work. And he goes for the Fake Out, does nothing. He switches out into his Bear Tip. And I switch out into my Magmortar. I did not predict that, honestly. I just wanted to go out into Magmortar, predicting the U-turn from the Persian. So right here, I go for Flame Charge. I can switch it out into Noctowl. Now right here, I'm thinking that he thought that I was physical, so he went out to Gigalith, even though Flame Charge is just for my speed. And then I go for the Thunderbolt, but he switches out. Thunderbolt does a decent chunk. It does about half, and it's unstabbed. Even though Gigalith isn't the best special wall. So right here, I go for the Hidden Power Grass. Yeah, I think it's Hidden Power Grass. It should be. And yeah, he goes out into his Persian. He goes to the Fake Out. I thought I could live it. Well, while having this battle, I was on the call with my buddy Ibanez on Skype. And he was like, yeah, man, you can live it. Stay in. I'm like, okay. And I don't live, so I hate you, Ibanez. I'm just joking. So I go out into my Jolly Hustle Choice Banded Raticate, and I U-turn and I miss. It would have been nice to get the U-turn off the first time, but stuff happens. So it goes for the Whirlwind right here, as I go out into my Gabite, and then he Whirlwinds me back out into my Slowpoke, that big HokeyPokey. So he Toxics me while I go for the Calm Mind, and I'm like, crap, you have Toxic, who can stall me? So I think I switch out here, or do I stay in and go for Scald? No, I switch out. Switch out and go out into my Pincer so I can finally set up them about mid-game rocks. It's about to be mid-game. So a little less than mid-game rocks. Yeah, so I set him up, and he was like, what the heck? Pincer gets Stealth Rocks. I'm like, yeah, man, go look it up. So then he whirlwinds me out into my Goodbye, and I'm like, yes, go for that big Stone Edge. But guess what? Knowing my luck, I just had to miss. Ugh, great. So I go back out into my Scraggy for some weird reason. I think for Death Fodder, but he goes and he double switch into this thing. And I don't know why he went for Substitute as I go for that big Restinator. Yeah, I go for that big rest. This is like the only set people run on Scraggy. They run specially defensive with rest, crunch, bulk up, and drain punch. So right now he goes for the sub, and then he goes for the focus punch and completely just demolishes Scraggy. I thought, oh yeah, it's not even gonna do half the focus punch, but of course it does more. And then he actually hits his Icicle Spear. That's just bad luck for me. So right here, I switch, and oh yeah, I was baiting him to go for Focus Punch, but he goes for Icicles Crash, and still does nothing to my HokeyPokey. And he stays in and goes for the Focus Punches. I go for the Fire Blast. Yes, call me a noob. I don't care. I had no clue that Slowpoke's physical attack was better than his special. It's just the set is kind of like the. It's kind of like the set that you'd run on Slowbro in, like, UU. So I'm like, yeah, Slowpoke should have decent special attack. So he goes to the Rock Slide, and I'm just praying for him not to flinch me. And he does it, and HokeyPokey just gets off that big Slack Offinator like a mouse. So I switch out because I have Regenerator. Regenerator. So I go out into my physically defensive pincer, and that does nothing. That does like a fourth. I don't know why people don't use physically defensive pincer. Like, it has good physical defense. It may not have the best HP, but its defense is really up there. So I got back out into my big HokeyPokey, and I guess he was depending on the flinch hacks, and that didn't happen. I don't know why I go for Scald. I think I just wanted to break the sub. So right after this, I go for the slack off, because I don't want him critting me with something and trying to... No, I don't... I go for Fire Blast. Why? And I get the burn on the Knock Towel, but as you just saw, the Fire Blast did nothing. So right here, I'm just hoping and praying that I outspeed, but he switches out for some reason. Don't know why. And I go for that big slack offinator. And here comes the Persian who can do Jack Diddley Squat to my... Sorry for the repeating right there, guys. Recording messed up. So he goes to the body slam, which is weird. While I go for that big Scaldinator, and that does nothing. Pitiful damage. That does pitiful damage. And I don't want him killing my big HokeyPokey yet. So I go on to my Gabite, hoping that I can live a body slam, even though it is a life orb. And I do. And I go for that big Outrage. He was like, oh man, I thought you were Eviolite. I'm like, really? Well, I didn't take that very well if I was Eviolite. So he goes out into Basculin. And he goes to the Aqua Jet. And, yeah, he kills off Gabite. So I go out into my HokeyPokey. I go for that big slack offinator, knowing that he'd switch. Because I don't see any life orb or leftovers, so I'm thinking he's either choice scarfed or choice banded. Could be either. I don't know. Well, I do know, but I'm not gonna tell you to the end of the battle because it's a really epic ending. So right here, he goes out into Basculin, goes for the crunch, and I'm like, what you doing? Slowpoke's a bows, dog. And I go for that big slack offinator. And he gets a defense drop, so I believe I switch out because I want to keep HokeyPokey alive. What? Why do I stay in? I don't know why. Maybe I had nothing else to take it. I don't know. So I go out into my Nah. I meant to spell K-N-A-W. Or was it G-N-A-W for Nah? So I go for the frustration, and I know. I'm like, Raticate, you can live this. You can live this Aqua Jet. It's like, no, you have shitty defensives. So bye, Raticate. But Raticate lives with 22 HP. Oh my gosh, Raticate, you are a boss. So that's the end of the battle, guys. This is Entei-Man 1. No, actually, comment, rate, subscribe. No, don't do that. You guys give me feedback in the comments below. Like if you liked it. Dislike if you did. And, yeah, this is Entei-Man 1, signing out, and peace.